Your aquarium can look crystal clear while ammonia is already hurting your fish. How can water that looks safe create an emergency? Well, before you feed, medicate, or clean the filter, stop, add oxygen, and test the water. If the fish are gasping, hiding, clamping their fins, or suddenly acting weak, do that now. In the next few minutes, I will show you exactly what to do during the first 30 minutes, including the reading that can look small but become much more dangerous in warm, higher pH water. Hey, clear water is not proof of safe water. The test result is in the proof. Here's the rescue order before we explain anything else. During the first 5 minutes, increase oxygen, stop feeding, and test ammonia and nitrite. Also check pH and temperature. From 5 to 15 minutes, prepare conditioned water that matches the tank temperature. From 15 to 30 minutes, make one controlled partial water change, let the tank mix, and test again. And while you do that, leave the biological filter alone. The filter bacteria are part of the rescue. This is the whole first 30 minutes. Now, let me show you why each step matters, because this is where panicked fish keepers can accidentally make the problem worse. First, get more oxygen moving through the aquarium. Add an air stone if you have one, or angle the filter return so it increases more surface movement. Ammonia can irritate and injure the gills. Stressed fish need every bit of oxygen support that you can give them while you correct the water. Then, stop feeding for now. Healthy adult fish can usually miss a meal without a problem, but every extra bit of food eventually becomes more waste. During an ammonia spike, you do not want to add more pressure to the system. Next, test ammonia again, and test nitrite too. Do not guess from the color of the water. Use the instructions for your test kit. Compare the result in good neutral light and write down the number. Also, check the temperature and pH. Ammonia should be 0 in a stable aquarium. It is above 0 and the fish are showing symptoms. Treat that as a real warning. And here is the part almost everyone misses. A reading of just 0.25 is not always a small problem. In warmer, higher pH water, more of it can shift toward the more toxic form. I will show you exactly why in a few minutes. For now, remember that the ammonia number does not stand alone. At this point, prepare replacement water. Use water conditioner for the full amount of new water going into the aquarium, and match the replacement water as closely as you reasonably can to the tank temperature. This matters because an ammonia rescue should not create a second emergency. Unconditioned tap water can expose the fish to chlorine and chloramine. A large temperature mismatch can add more stress when the fish are already struggling. Move calmly and measure what you are doing. This is not the moment to dump random bottles into the tank or tear everything apart. The goal is to dilute the ammonia while keeping the rest of the aquarium stable. Here is the first question I ask myself. Are the fish in immediate distress? Look at their breathing, where they are sitting in the tank, and whether they can swim normally. Then, look at the ammonia reading. If the number is high or the fish are in obvious distress, you need to move faster. So, do one controlled partial water change using conditioned, temperature match water. The amount depends on the reading, the fish behavior, and the aquarium. Use the DBC Ammonia Spike Emergency Guide and Water Change Calculator if you need help choosing the amount. You can find that on dbcaquatics.com. Then let the tank circulate before you test again. The Polished Rescue Guide uses about 20 to 30 minutes after the aquarium mixes as the retest point. Do not keep making several unrelated changes while you wait. Watch the fish. Are they breathing a little easier? Are they moving away from the surface? Are they still clamping their fins, hiding, or lying on the bottom? Then test ammonia and nitrite again and record the new result. You're looking for two things. Did the number improve and did the fish respond? Now, let us come back to the clue from the opening. One pattern I see beginners miss is the combination of ammonia, pH, and temperature. It is something I've learned not to ignore. A beginner can see only 0.25 parts per million and relax, but warmer water and higher pH push more of the total ammonia toward the more toxic form. That is why I never read the ammonia number by itself. I check the fish, the pH, and the temperature with it. This does not mean you need to become a chemist during an emergency. It means a small looking number still deserves attention, especially when the fish are already gasping, weak, or irritated. And if the ammonia test reads 0, but the fish still look bad, keep investigating. Check nitrite, oxygen, and surface movement, temperature, conditioner, and visible disease or injury signs. The test is just evidence. It is not permission to stop observing the fish. Once the fish are protected and the ammonia is being diluted, ask yourself one question. What changed? Now investigate. Is this a new tank that may not have enough beneficial bacteria yet? Or was there overfeeding or uneaten food left to break down? Could there be dead fish, rotting plant material, or hidden waste behind the decor? Were too many fish added too quickly? And what happened to the biological filter? Maybe all the filter media was replaced at once. Maybe it was rinsed under untreated tap water. Maybe the tank and filter were both deep cleaned on the same day. The water change dilutes ammonia, but it does not remove the reason ammonia appeared. If you do not identify the source, the number can climb again. This is the difference between reacting and rescuing. A reaction changes something because the fish look sick. A rescue gathers evidence, makes one measured correction, and checks the response. During the spike, do not feed the fish to see if they perk up. Do not replace all the filter media. Do not deep clean the filter and the substrate together. And do not medicate first just because the fish are clamping their fins or breathing hard. Medication does not remove ammonia from the water. And do not let a crystal clear aquarium convince you the problem is gone. The filter bacteria. Keep the filter running. If media must be handled, protect it from drying out and from untreated tap water. The fastest way to lose time is to damage part of the aquarium that processes ammonia while you are trying to lower ammonia. Recovery is not one perfect test result. Recovery is stable. Watch breathing, swimming, appetite, fin position, and where the fish are spending their time. Test ammonia and nitrite on a schedule until both stay at 0. Keep feeding light while the system catches up. And then remove the source if you find one, but avoid another deep clean. And be sure to keep a simple record of the test numbers, temperature, feeding, water changes, filter work, and anything else added to the tank. That record turns the next surprise into evidence you can use. The goal is not to memorize every ammonia fact. The goal is to become the kind of fish keeper who can see a change, stay calm, test the right things, and protect the aquarium while making one controlled correction. If ammonia is showing in your tank right now, use the full DBC Ammonia Spike Emergency Guide linked below in this video. If you're not sure whether ammonia is the real problem, start at the Aquarium Rescue Hub. The free aquarium survival checklist will help you work through the rescue order without trying to remember everything under stress. And after immediate emergency is stable, the Aquarium Rescue Blueprint gives you the complete repeatable system for a diagnosis, rescue, monitoring, and prevention. The DBC Rescue Rule is simple. Test the water, protect the fish, and protect the filter. And identify the cause. Then choose the next step. Remember this the next time your fish are in trouble. Crystal clear water is not evidence. Your test kit is.